So my name's Rachel Lawrence-Byron and I am the Professional Development Director for Brook Western Trust. So that means that I lead the professional development for all the secondary schools in the trust. But I have another role as well, which is newly appointed as the Associate Principal of the new school, which is called the Wisbech Academy, which will be on the same site as Thomas Clarkson Academy. So we have around 200 teachers that have signed up to be members of the Charter College, and then recently this year we've also offered membership for teaching assistants as well. What prompted the Trust to join, I think, was the opportunity to be part of a professional body, which was something that the Trust was really keen to promote among all the colleagues, and to kind of emphasise the importance of being a profession. And I think one of the key things was linking up with people in different schools and feeling that we were outward looking as a trust and seeing like what's the best that's being said, what's the best that's being done, and the best evidence available. And we felt that being part of the Charter College could help us do that. And so a big part of the draw was introducing us to that, but I think also the opportunity to connect with colleagues in other contexts. Across the whole trust, we've seen a buzz around engaging with research, and I think having the journal that comes it has been really helpful, and you see it in lots of our schools. You see lots of teachers reading Impact and talking about it and using it in training that we do in CPD, so it helps to kind of raise the profile of those things across all the schools, and I think it helps people to feel connected with people in other contexts and to bring new ideas into our schools. So that's been really good for being more creative, I think. And the other thing, I suppose, is that where schools have actually done the training element as well, that has gone a lot deeper, I think, and people feel a closer identity then if they are actually doing the Chartered Teacher Award. It leads to a deeper understanding of what's possible of being part of the college. And then the other thing I think has been really good is something that we're starting is having research champions in different schools, and then they're able to share what's possible rather than it just being an email. It becomes much more live when they're talking about it and sharing it with colleagues. One thing where I think group membership has been important is that it raises the profile of the Charter College, and so some colleagues may have heard of it before they come to the trust, but some might not have done. And so having the group membership means that it's something that people are going to talk about, and that we might talk about at the start of the year, and when new people are inducted into the schools, we'd say, this is this great opportunity that you have. Whereas I think if we didn't have group membership, and the onus is on individual teachers to think of it and know about it in the first place, and then to do it themselves, probably fewer people are going to be engaged. So the fact that we have the group membership means that it's something that we all do together, and that also opens up the opportunity for us to talk about it in CPD and talk about it in our training sessions, so that it becomes a whole community thing rather than something that a few teachers who are really keen are doing. It's more like a culture thing that we're all doing that. It's something that we are all interested together. Across the trust, we've had a lot of improvement in our schools, so that now all our schools are good or better than good. And part of that picture has been having the group membership and helping us to be able to talk about our teaching and to talk about how research informs our teaching. And I think to be able to talk about what people in other schools are doing, in other contexts are doing, and try and learn from that. And although it's tricky to draw a straight line to student outcomes, I think what it does do is enhance the culture and enhance the commitment to improving, and that does have an impact on what we do in lessons and the way we think about our teaching, and then that leads to improved outcomes for children. So the benefits, I think, first of all, would be the identity of the teachers and giving them a sense of having that professional identity, and being part of a wider community of teachers beyond our schools has been a really important benefit. I think a second benefit has been opening up people's experience of research. So for example, with the Impact journal is one way, but also there's the resources that are on the website. That one of the challenges can be getting access to research for teachers, because a lot of it's behind a paywall, whereas there's a lot of stuff there that teachers can access because they're members of the college. So that's really helped to enrich all sorts of things that happen in schools. So for example, if someone's doing training, they can draw on that and bring that in. They can have discussions within departments, and it's just all available there for people as well. And then I think it's also opened up the possibility of doing the Chartered Teacher Award, and so that's something that colleagues have initially in one school been really enthusiastic about, and I think that's been so positive and well received that now we're doing it in different schools as well, and it's starting to spread across the trust. So that kind of builds momentum, I think. In terms of recruitment, it's part of our employee value proposition. So when we invite staff to come to teach here, we like to share with them why we're an employer of choice, or we hope to be an employer of choice for people in the local area. But one of the big reasons is because we have this commitment to being part of a professional body and encouraging our colleagues to be part of professional communities. So that has really helped. I think it's helped even more now that we've got institutional member status. And I think that's helped to raise the profile of the connection with the trust and the college even more than it was. And I think often staff are excited to have that opportunity. So we found that when staff are applying for jobs, some of them will say, well, I've heard that you run these programmes. And that can be a big attraction, because you can see it with the Chartered Teacher Award, for example, it's quite clearly scaffolded because you've got modules, and it's has a real clear pathway, and that's attractive to a lot of people, I think. So it's been a real benefit for us in terms of recruitment. In terms of retention, it also helps because particularly we found with our mid-career teachers or people who once they finish the early career framework, there's less of a scaffolded pathway, and we've been able to offer the Chartered Teacher pathway, which has different pathways as well for leaders and mentors and teachers, and that's helped us to really tailor our CPD, and that helps to keep people because they feel like, oh, if I stay here, I'm going to progress in my career, and we can be really clear with them how that might happen. And it's attractive to people if they want to do a really formal thing like that, but it might not be as formal as that. So for some colleagues it will be being part of the college and having that access to the community and the things that come with membership. I think it also helps them to feel valued and invested in. Yeah, we feel that professional development really helps to attract high quality teachers, and it creates a community which is an exciting place to work in, because there are people who are excited about their teaching, they want to talk about it, they want to improve it, and being part of that community can be very welcoming, and it's something that people want to come and be part of. So that attracts people who are like-minded in some ways, who think, yeah, I would love to be part of that too, and I would like to learn more about teaching and learn more about the evidence that informs teaching and be part of that. So in that way I think it can attract some fantastic teachers to be part of it. I suppose the other thing as well is that we all get better in our career. So even if people are not yet outstanding, what we might, but they're not yet as good as they're going to be, we would have the idea that we're always getting better. Everybody's getting better all the time, and everybody can get better all the time. And it helps to create that community where everybody's doing that, whatever level they are in the school. So whatever level we are when we start, we want to be always getting better. It's really helped us to have the institutional member status, and to feel that we have that recognition of this really strong partnership between the school and the trust and the Chartered College of Teaching. And that helps the identity of the school internally amongst the colleagues in the school, because we have that this is part of what we stand for, but I think it helps externally as well, because if colleagues are coming from different contexts, they might not know much about the school, but they might recognise that, and they might say, okay, we did that at my school too, I recognise that, we've got that in common, and that can be really helpful. So in terms of the new school, I think membership is going to be really important for us, because we don't have an identity yet. So because it's a brand new school, we are setting out what we're going to stand for and what we're going to be about, and we want right at the heart of that to be, we're part of the Chartered College of Teaching, because this is what we really value, and I think that's going to help us to say, at this school we value being research informed, we value asking lots of questions and being open to not knowing the answers, and also to being quite rigorous in the way that we talk about research. I think that's part of what we're committing to. And then I think we're also committing to looking beyond our school, and we want to be outward looking and saying what's the best that's being said nationally and even internationally. And I think being part of the college really allows us to do that. So it's really exciting for us that we're going to have that right at the heart of the school from the beginning. So my membership is really helpful for my career, I think, because I am part of that community, so that's a real encouragement in terms of my career. And then I think it's also quite inspiring to hear what other colleagues in different contexts are doing. And then it gives me that element of challenge, because at the different stages that I'm going through my career, there'll be different things to engage with and to learn from. In the new school, we will have group membership as part of Brook Western Trust, the same as all our schools in the Trust. But one of the things we're going to do from the outset, as well as that, is to work really closely with Thomas Clarkson Academy, where they have pioneered the Chartered Teacher Award in the school, and we're going to build on that and work with them. And in the first year, we're going to have a joint cohort doing the Chartered Teacher Award with colleagues from Thomas Clarkson and the new school, the Wisbech Academy, as well as some colleagues from primary schools in the Trust as well. So we're going to come together and do that. And the module we're going to do first is the Development of Teaching Practice Award. And we're really excited about that, because we've tried it this year with colleagues at Thomas Clarkson Academy. What we found is that it's a really adaptable module, and it helps us to allow teachers to pick something that's relevant to them. But it also has a lot of rigour, and the cycle of deliberate practice, it works really, really well to work on any kind of aspects of your practice that you want to improve, and it's quite adaptable for individual interests. So the combination of that, as well as the opportunity to work alongside colleagues and give feedback in a non-judgmental but constructive way to each other and help each other develop like that, has been really powerful at Thomas Clarkson, so we're really excited to bring it into our other schools as well. I would encourage other trusts to go for group membership, because I think it helps, well, one thing, it's helped us as a trust. I think it also helped to deepen our identity as a trust and what we hold to be important, and I think it helps to do that, and for the staff to feel valued, because they can see that the trust is really investing in them and giving them that opportunity. And then it says something about what you value as a trust, and I guess for us we wanted to emphasise that we do value engaging with research and engaging with other colleagues, so it helps to communicate that with colleagues.